Well, the studio's loaded again, and this is Radio Entrepreneurs. Welcome back. My name is Jeffrey Davis. This is going to be a great 2020. Why? Because 2019 was a great year, and it should only get better for us. More entrepreneurs and more entrepreneurs we keep interviewing. And my special guest host is the reformed attorney, now author, Peter Myerson.
Jeff, it is so good to be on the show with you.
Don't you love the label?
Fun. Yeah, I love the label.
Yeah, we should put it on business cards. Here, I'm ready to make them.
Okay.
Our next guest, Shawn Moloney, owner and broker, Movementum Realty, LLC, and Podcast King.
Thanks for having me today. I'm really excited to be on the show and to talk with you guys and to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship.
Great. Why don't you tell us about Movementum Realty?
So it's Movementum Realty.
Realty, sorry.
Realty,
not a
reality.
problem at all. So it's Movementum Realty. We were originally founded 8 years ago, 9 years this coming August, so really excited about that. I was in real estate for a couple of years, and I just decided I wanted to do something different than what was offered and moving along more with where the future of real estate is, which is more of electronic transactions and dealing with clients on a different level than we were in the past. But I also wanted to give an option other than the National Association of Realtors, which a lot of people use the word realtor and real estate agent interchangeably, but the truth is everyone's a real estate agent, but not everybody's a realtor. They pay dues in order to be a realtor. So I have an actual full independent company. So the name Movementum Realty, we created the idea of having our agents be called Move Mentors because they mentor you on the process versus being salespeople. So I wanted to kind of create a better relationship with like harmony with the agent and the person, because the strangest thing is when we go out, you meet with people and they're like, my parents told me to sign nothing. And they, there's this defensive wall they have up from you, the salesperson, versus realizing like, my father, he sells cars, and I said to him, I said, the difference, you sell Toyota. Someone walks on the lot, you have to sell a Toyota. When you sell houses, someone doesn't like the house you have, you can bring them to the next one, the next one, the next one, because we have access to all the inventory. So I really wanted to build something that, made the consumer feel like they were appreciated and they were part of the transaction, and we were a part, not that we were selling them something and telling them to look up when they should look down, and so on and so forth. So that's why I ended up with the business, and over time it's grown. We currently have just over 6 agents. We have a 7th one just onboarding right now, and a full IT staff, and a couple podcasts we run, one called Home Ownership that is about actually owning homes, selling them and buying them for the consumers. And then we have one called Real Facts on Real Estate, which is more for industry professionals to learn about real estate and to just pick up free education, which I think is a really important thing always. Is the more we can free education, the more people that will rise up from where they were, because education seems to be the holdback for most people. So I like to kind of try to share whatever we have as a company and resources.
Can you sort of describe the podcast a little more
Sure. So,
discreetly? Because I think that, what you're doing is an interesting take on the real estate market. People like real estate agents about as much as they like lawyers.
Yeah, it's a strange feeling for sure. The whole way that when we first meet with people, because you're about to get involved in what should be an exciting, best time of their life transaction, and unfortunately, a lot of people see it as the most stressful time in life, and they don't know where they're going. And the agent calls them and says, "Just sign this 11-page document at 4:59 that's due at 5 p.m. and be okay with it." And so, my podcast Homeownership was built for home buyers, home sellers, and homeowners, and what that was to do was to educate them better on the entire process, everything from getting an offer accepted and not putting just top dollar on it, but understanding what all the terms mean, to how to actually own a home, like how to shut off the water outside, or we've talked with mold inspectors and just what can actually be done to mold versus what are opinions of people. And so I try to bring in industry professionals as well that can talk deeper into subjects. And they're all about 12 to 20 minutes long, so, a regular commuter stream type of one, because you can listen to an episode on your way to or from work and everything, which I think is good. The main key with all of them is they are not sales pitches. They are 100% educational. So they are definitely much more scientific and much less, a group of people bantering about real estate. It's more just to the facts. So I really wanted it to be quick, short, and educational. The other one, Real Facts on Real Estate, is actually there's a private Facebook group. You actually have to type it in to find it. It's called Real Facts on Real Estate, but it's for anybody in the entire real estate industry, from appraisers to sign hangers to people who are agents, brokers, insurance people, and it's for all of them to talk real estate and to do free training. So I have the podcast, the Facebook group, the blog, and a newsletter that all work with each other, just letting you know about different episodes and everything. With that one, I wanted to really focus on getting out a lot of free education. One of the things I had mentioned early in the podcast was National Association of Realtors. There's nothing against them. I mean, they're perfectly fine to do what they want, but I wanted different options. And one of the things is, in the reality of with the Realtor being such a large organization, most people in small business basically have to be a Realtor, because a lot of people won't tell you, but basically the state of Massachusetts forms are made on Realtor documents, which an average agent that's not a Realtor can't use. You have to pay for them. So I wanted more free education, because the state really doesn't seem to give much education on the real estate. I wanted people to be able to get at that access, to realize that they don't have to pay this large trade group, that they can educate themselves and move forward without them, and that if they wanted, there are options out there other than being just paying the man to continue forward with their business. So lots of real estate education.
It's interesting. So what did you do before you were a real estate agent?
I've actually been an entrepreneur my entire life. I owned a tree and landscape company for 10 years. I sold it 3 years ago, April.
That's quite a business if it's done properly.
Yeah, I bought my first house when I was 23, and I had a lot of fun. I lived in hotels. I did all sorts of crazy and fun stuff, being a young person, making a good amount of money. And then I slowed down and really started putting the business together. I met with a business coach who helped me understand, what actually makes a business worth value to sell it. Because, one of the things that's crazy as an entrepreneur is finding out how little a business is worth compared to what you think it's worth until you actually build a business, which a lot of people never build a brand and everything. So this gentleman that I worked with, a guy named Phil Ashcroft, he got working with me, and he really helped me out at understanding what value was, because so often as an entrepreneur we're out there working on the business and in the business, and we're not really paying attention to the back end of it, and realizing that if someone who's buying the company buys the company, they don't want to just see a salary, they want to see profit. And a lot of business owners, as they grow, they don't really grow the profit side of the business. So he was teaching me a lot about getting my business ready, and I was really excited, and we were able to successfully sell it. I had 16 employees, a bunch of trucks, we had tree equipment, Bobcat, all the good toys. But honestly, I took a building collapse in the big snow, 3-4 years back, when the whole Bombo Genesis and all these other things come, and that collapsed my building. So I moved the company
I won't tell you my nightmare tree story.
Yeah.
Where they pulled out of my driveway without bringing their thing down, and they pulled down all the wires, almost burnt down my house. Thanks for the new fridge, guys. We've been speaking with Shawn Moloney, owner and broker, Movementum Realty. Sorry, I almost said the wrong name again. With Peter Myerson as my co-host. Shawn, if someone's looking for you, how would they do that? Or your podcast?
So you can find me in pretty much any social media. I typically use my middle name. It's Shawn Patrick Moloney. So all my social medias, because there is a politician with the name Shawn Patrick Moloney as well. We're in constant competition for who's going to be the doppelganger. We seem to constantly knock each other off. But anyways, you can type that in, Shawn Patrick Moloney with an M-O on the end, into Google. If you go to ShawnPatrickMoloney.com, it has all my links at the top of it. RealFactsOnRealEstate.com for that one. And then MovementumRealty.com, which is MovementumRealty.com. So check it out on any one of them, and they all link to each other.
Great. Thanks for being on the show again, Shawn.
Thanks for having me today.
Great.
Guys.
Have a great day. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these short messages.